Hi, I'm the host of the STO Smokers Lounge. I'm here to tell you about Anchor, the perfect app that you can use right now to start your own podcast network. You can broadcast right now. All you got to do is download the app, whether you have a phone, iPad, or even a laptop or desktop. You can right now download Anchor or go to Anchor FM right now and start recording and have your stuff broadcasted over multiple platforms such as Spotify. So go to Anchor today and start your podcast career like I have. Because trust me, I love me some Anchor.
Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Do what you can, catch me up to speed. Do you smoke some $3 with me? If you not, fuck with me, you a dummy. 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 Yo, name is Kavanaugh, don't you forget it, bro. I call you niggas out, yeah, I call you hoes. Baddest MC in the game. Y'all gonna know the name, y'all gonna remember the name. I'm gonna tear that ass out the frame. It's a fucking shame. You boys can't even back the day. What, man? Y'all lanes ain't even got no game. I'm straight from the south, knock a nigga out. Without, turn the party out. Slap nigga, I'm out. Have she put you out, go and make a shout. For the shit, you a dummy. Y'all niggas think you fuck with me, it ain't even sunny. Looking for the girls that got that good and cutty. She's good with it. Gonna fuck a dummy, gonna leave her coming. Gonna put in the tummy, gonna leave it running. Taste the pussy just like honey, cause you a dummy. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Do what you can, catch me up to speed. Do you smoke some $3 with me? If you not, fuck with me, you a dummy. 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 Dummy.
One of the ones during my time when I was active that I always wanted to work with. One, I consider you a legend. Actually, you are a legend. Um,
Thank you.
and also, in my opinion, one of the top black BBWs in the game. A trendsetter in many ways. I remember you from back when you was by Marley.
Mm. Yeah, the beginning.
Yeah, and like I said, I always loved your work. I always wanted to work with you. And and that's one of the regrets I didn't get a chance to work with the great Marlon more during my career, because that's where you put out so many classic scenes, yo, in your time in this business.
Thank
And
you.
and if and trust me, you should be in somebody's Hall of Fame. Was all said and done, in my
At some
opinion.
point, that's the goal.
No doubt. So to start the show, um, what's the one thing from your years in this business that, if you can go back and tell your younger self, you would tell yourself?
Mm, hmm, that's a good question. It would mainly be to put my stuff, put myself out there more as far as my content. There's been a lot of I sat on a lot of like content and a lot of things I wanted to do creatively for a long time just because I didn't know how people was going to receive it.
Hmm.
Um, but that would probably be like the main thing is to be like, hey, the shit that you want to shoot, do it. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing or waiting to see what everybody else is going to do. Or like, just go ahead and get the shit done.
Yeah, because that's the beauty of our business, that we get the opportunity to actually put out stuff that we would want to put out.
Yeah.
Um, because even with me, like, I was able to do the type of scenes that I always felt it should have been in porn. From doing the black female president
Mm-hmm.
to well, at the time you didn't see a lot of females be the aggressor in scenes where
Right.
they're the boss, and they tell the dude, you better eat this pussy if you want to keep your job. You didn't see that too often in
Right.
porn. There's always the other side around and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
and plus, like I said, I know you came in the game really doing your own content. You was actually at the time probably one of the few girls that was actually putting out their own content. Because back then a lot of the girls they were doing porn just to boost escorting. They really
Yeah.
wasn't worried about content. What
Mm.
made you decide to focus on putting out your own content when you came out?
I really didn't have a choice. Because you knew me at the beginning. I had a manager and stuff, and at
Yeah.
the time, we were doing our own thing. But when it came to like getting booked for shoots, like I wasn't really like getting booked for anything. And
Hmm.
for various reasons, you know what I'm saying, why I felt in the BBW category, I still wasn't, as far as
Hmm.
mainstream goes, like BBW, nor was there
Hmm.
anywhere like there. I felt in like that in between, like I was like in a huge gap. So
Hmm.
I had to learn real quick that I kind of had to like make my own lane for myself and kind of like self-produce my own content. Thankfully, I was around people who taught me how to do that.
Yes, because you wasn't a traditional BBW. You was actually more along the line thick video vixeness. Um.
I would say it was that, but a little bit like a little bit extra. Like it's
Hmm.
weird. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I've
Yeah.
always been a thick girl with like a little extra. You know what I'm saying. I always had a little stomach, a little roll here or there, and I feel like that had a lot to do with why I wasn't getting booked, along with the fact that I didn't have I didn't do tracks or weaves or anything like that much. When I
Hmm.
started doing porn either, like I did, but to an extent, especially once I started wearing my natural hair. Like that was another thing
Hmm.
too. Like as far as getting booked for mainstream, we all know they go for certain looks, so I didn't fall into
Yeah.
that category.
Well, sure. Well, you was able to make a lane and a
Mhm.
strong lane at that. So let me talk to my peoples and we can get this thing rolling. Okay, baby?
Mhm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smoking Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone trying to start their own podcast career. All you got to do is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get a profile today. I'm your host, Captain Officer of the Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Y'all know what it is. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Let me tell you about three wonderful sponsors that we have. The first would be the Facebook, the LS community, lsworld.com. Next up, the hottest adult magazine on the web, eroticismmagazine.com. And last but not least, Black owned. 90% profit for you content creators and no hashtag issues. And for you consumers, a new place for you to consume your Triple X content. I'm talking about xsitebunny.com. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and buy from 500 black owned retailers, shops, and boutiques. Also, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, find me on fullyswapradio.com as well as mm, damn, I lost my train of thought.
You
Scott,
got it. You got it.
I'm looking at your Twitter feed, looking at your ass. You threw me off. I'm sorry. Find me on skyhawkafterdarktv.com as well as the BGPLLC app. And I'm going to shut up and let this legendary big booty, sexy lady introduce herself.
Okay. For those who don't know me, I'm Marley Moore, two-time award winner. I'm also a producer, director. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
BBW
she.
star extraordinaire.
And let's not forget, she also is a studio owner because you
Right.
recently
Yes.
LLC'd your company. And I'm gonna begin there. How did it feel to LLC your company to make it legit?
Um, it was. I ain't gonna hold you. It was stressful at first because I'm like, okay, it's like a whole lane of responsibility I took on, but at the same
Mm,
time, I'm very, very, very proud that that's something that I'm able to do now. Um,
mm.
being as though that it took me so long.
Yeah, because with LLC that enable you to file taxes, even get small business loans and stuff of that nature, being LLCs.
Hmm.
And people don't realize how important it is to be LLC. Speak to the importance of getting that.
I mean, just it just protects you as a business owner, especially with what we do. A lot of the stuff that we do is very high risk.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like when you start to get to a certain level in your career, no matter how far you want to take it, you got to take certain steps to protect yourself and your brand.
Hmm.
Um, this just allows me to make certain moves outside of the realms of sex work that I wouldn't probably normally be able to do if I didn't have an LLC.
Hmm. Oh, most
Um,
definitely.
because that's kind of like the next step in like I'm coming up on 10 years now, and
Hmm.
people always ask me like how long I plan on doing this. I really don't have a time frame, but I'm kind of looking at it in
Hmm.
like in 10-year increments. I spent the last first few years building and getting everything where I need to be, and now my next few years just building my company and where I really want it to be, and then I can start to figure out how to make my exit.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so my goal for the next year is to start producing films on a bigger scale under the company,
Hmm.
on both the porn side and the vanilla side, so I can have something to
Hmm.
present to people. So when I do start asking
Hmm.
for loans and shit, I'm not
Hmm.
presenting porn to people. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing people don't realize is that that's the hardest thing is to get sponsorship. Because even with me doing the podcasting, I have to be mindful that it's certain sponsors not going to fuck with me because of my content. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's kind of like when you have your company, you kind of want to make it a multi-based media company, so
Yep.
that even though they see that you do porn, they see that you do other stuff that might make you more attractive to get them kind of loans.
Right. Exactly.
No doubt. So let's go back, way back. Let's go 10 years in the time machine. And what got Marley into adult film?
Mm, it was kind of random. Um, my manager at the time, she was somebody that was local to me that a lot of people knew that happened to be managing of like other like amateur uh adult performers in the game. And she just kind of like approached me like, "Hey, are you
Mhm.
interested?" And I was like, "I guess." It wasn't really doing like shit else. So I'm like, I guess. I mean, if you talking about some money, all right, you know. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, which I learned real quick. My first year in porn, I didn't make a dime. I didn't make shit. I just spent my first year in porn was basically me getting my name by Marley out there, showing my face, networking and meeting the people that some people who of whom I know now. But yeah, my first year I ain't making a fucking dime. And after that first year, I started looking around like, okay, why am I not making any money? What's going on? I'm like, you know, where's the coin? Um, after that point, I decided to just kind of move on and start from scratch. And
Mhm.
at that period in the industry, things were kind of changing. This was obviously
Mhm.
before OnlyFans and before we we had the power of being independent, but not so. We only had sites like Fish for
Mhm.
Sale and Rude, and we only had like a handful of sites we could really sell on at the time. So I was learning my way
Mhm.
around that and just trying to build my platform up from there. And by the time I'd say like 2015, 16 rolled around, when we had more sites popping up, then I
Mhm.
kind of had made a name for myself at that point.
Mhm. Yeah, because at first guy I remember you was independent. Now I start seeing the companies fucking with you.
Hmm.
I had the pleasure of watching you from the beginning all the way up to now, and I saw the steady growth. I saw you with Ghetto Gaggers. I saw you with BBW Highway, um, and many other the companies and stuff like that. So when you did your first professional shoot, tell me about your first professional shoot, how you felt walking in. What were some of your conceptions that you had about a porn shoot
Who was my first? I want to say my first professional shoot was with
walking
it was
after?
either hmm
Mhm.
which
Go
was
ahead.
that?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm trying to remember. It was either my first shoot was either I can't remember if it was with Ghetto Gaggers or with Just Models in LA, but I want to say it was
Mm-hmm.
with Just Models. Um,
Okay.
his stuff was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
That was like probably one of the few times I've actually did anything in LA. So
Mm-hmm.
that was an experience, but it was pretty much laid back. Like the first thing we did was a solo scene, and then like we did a boy girl scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was very simple. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just us on the set, no extra heads. Everybody was
Mm-hmm.
pretty professional from what I can remember. Um,
Mhm.
same thing with like my ghetto gagger scene because that's why I can say that was probably like if I was just
Mhm.
say that like my first big like major shoot on set outside of Just Models, it would be that one. The
Mhm.
same thing can be said for them as well. Every time I shoot for them,
Mhm.
professional, didn't really have many issues. I was nervous because at the I was mainly used to doing most of my own stuff, so it's always
Mhm.
different when I go shoot for other people, especially when I feel like more people is gonna see it. So, but outside of that, it's always been great experiences.
Yeah, cause but see, before that, you actually been shooting professional anyway. Because I remember you was with what was it, Super Hot Films? I think that's what was their name at one
Mm-mm.
point.
No,
Not well,
everybody
are you
thinks
at work? Did you? Oh,
everybody
did you work with them?
thinks no, that is Poison Ivy. Everybody thinks that I used to work with Super Hot. I've never worked with Super Hot a day in my life.
Okay, okay, cool. Why did everyone get that mixed up?
Because we both used to have green dreads, even though neither one
Yeah.
of us looked anything alike. But it's something been used to. It's something that's always been a comparison over the years. So I
Yeah.
just kind of just go with it. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. You got it right. Yeah, yeah, that was me. Yeah, but no, but you already shot. You always shot at a high level.
Mm.
Period. Because I've never seen you have an amateurish look about your content, even back then.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't until that was just because of the people that I always surrounded myself with. That's one thing I can say that I've always been fortunate. As far as like whether I deal with them to this day or not, I always give credit where credit is due. I've ran across a lot of people in the time that I've been in this industry who showed me that quality is key. So that's all something that I've always strive for. Whether it is if even if it is amateur porn that I'm shooting, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still going to make sure that it looks good. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's always been a big thing for me. And even as I grow now as a performer, I always make sure that I make sure my stuff looks better than the last stuff than how it looked last year.
Yeah, because because I tell people once you get to a certain level, you want to stay at that level and stay with that
Mm-hmm.
look.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't talk about it in the spaces or what have you, even to like iron sharpens iron. Because you always made the point to work with established talent even early in your career. Now, how did you get the wherewithal to do that early in the career? Because a lot of guys, girls will make the mistake of dealing with just anybody. You know what I'm saying? But
Um,
you made a point to deal with top notch even when you first started.
well, that's one thing I can give a little bit of credit to my manager for. When I did start to shoot, one of my first shoots was with Rock the Icon,
Hmm.
and that was I can say that was probably like the what kind of helped
Hmm.
because he's always been like a great friend of mine to this day. He was somebody I
Hmm.
have quite a few scenes with him in my early career, and that also kind of
Yeah,
helped. That
yeah.
also kind of helped other people reach out to me as well. Like even after like I started working with Richard Man in 2016, and me meeting him opened the door of meeting Mr. Nuts and then Don Prince and then all these other
Yeah.
great male performers who kind of within the same network. So
Hmm.
everything kind of had like a domino effect. And I'm very big on it's all about who you know, who you surround yourself with. I've always been big
Hmm.
on that, and I pay attention. So
Hmm.
I just always find my way to be in the same rooms with the right people.
Oh, most definitely, I see that. I remember because I would tell people that Mr. Nuts was the first one really doing the content trade houses,
Hmm.
and you was indulging in the content trade house when they first were coming up. So tell us how the content trade houses back then, how they were back then versus now.
Well, yeah, because so when he started doing he like you said he was like one of the first people or the only people that I saw doing content houses. It wasn't until up to maybe a few years ago, people started to do their own.
Hmm.
Even the last couple ones that I did over the last couple years, was because of him. It's of
Hmm.
years of taking notes and watching how he do his and everything. Um, his has structure. He always ran his with structure. There wasn't just everybody's in the house and we just shooting and we don't. There's no schedule and no nothing like that. There was always a schedule. You knew who you were shooting with, when you're shooting it, where you're shooting it.
Hmm.
Everything was figured out to a T. So I knew when I flew down to Florida or Texas or Vegas or wherever we were going to be at, I was prepared to work. because I knew what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I had no issue spending my money to come fly out to wherever I was coming to shoot my scenes because I knew I'm gonna get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
Versus now, I prefer not to do anybody's events outside of mine or his because just based off of the things that I hear and I see, there's no structure. And I am big on that. I'm not coming and spending my money to come to nobody event and I'm leaving with what, one scene, two scenes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not being fed properly, or I don't have nowhere to lay my head, or I gotta share a bed with somebody I don't know. Or you know what I'm saying? Like shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I hear just being on the planning side and planning events and having the things that people have told me from their experiences, it's like, yeah, the bar is in hell a little bit with the content
Yeah.
houses. I tend to tell people if you're gonna do a concert house, do your research on who's throwing it and ask
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah, because it's just like I know he was the only one that really was doing it. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden, I just saw motherfuckers with a content house, girls gone wireless, this person
Hmm.
doing a content house, this person doing a content house. It's the equivalent of when Lorel was doing the BBW parties and everyone started doing them.
Because everybody saw how lucrative it was, which it is. But what people didn't fail to realize, didn't see, was the planning that goes into these shits.
Mm-hmm.
Like my first content event I didn't charge nothing. I didn't charge any of the talent any money. I paid
Mm-hmm.
for the house. I had people that helped me pay for the house, but
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, majority of everything I paid for myself out of pocket because I knew, okay, cool. If I take care of everything, and I invited the right group of people, they're gonna come to work. I'm gonna get my content. We shot
Mm-hmm.
enough content. It's still content from last year. I still haven't put out yet. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like that's the type of event. That's how I think an event should be ran. If you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
invite people to come out, you need to make sure that everything is taken care of, so nobody shouldn't have to want for shit. So that way, that's an incentive for them to want to come and work. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You know, if you got the cameraman, if you got the location, if you got food to make sure they're eating, water so they're hydrated, they're comfortable, so they got somewhere to lay at and rest when they need to rest. They not. What else are they going? Like, what else? They don't really have much of a choice. Like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
cool, I'm comfortable, I'm well fed. All right, let's work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mhm. Yeah, because I know that when y'all go to content house, y'all want to walk away with at least double figure scenes because there's enough bodies that you can pull that off.
Right.
Period. And
Hmm.
enough producers and cameras and what have you. And I remember seeing some of the visuals from like those first content house. Man, y'all put in some goddamn work, especially your ass. I was
Because
like, damn, she done snuck out and got in the car with Bandit. They done did a whole scene in the car. I said, damn.
yeah, yo, my first few events that I did with Mr. Nuts, that was the first time I've been into had been in like have been around people like that and been able to shoot so much content in such little time. So at the time, at the time that was hungry Marley. Marley was like ready to work. Like I'd be up 7 o'clock in the morning, eat breakfast, dress, ready to go. Like, all right, cool. What's the schedule? I'm ready to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm leaving with my content. I ain't spending my money to come down here to bullshit. I saw other models that would be in the house and they be bullshitting. I'm like, I don't know why you came down here, but I came down here to get my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
because actually, he was one of the first black girls I saw doing gangbangs.
That was
Straight
another
up,
thing
for real.
too. That was another thing too. But I was adamant about when I started doing content houses with him. I'm like, okay. I started seeing all these white women doing all these gangbangs and stuff. I'm like, okay, so what's up? Can I do the same thing? Like,
Shoot, I know them boys couldn't do
so
nothing with your ass. Cause I
yeah.
saw the picture of one of them gangbangs. You had them motherfuckers got them about to pass out, and you was still going.
Yeah, that's actually the first time one of the first scenes I did with Mr. Nuts, and it was a gangbang, and it wasn't supposed to be, but the first AVN I met them was 2016, and I asked Mr. Nuts because I saw he had who was over there. He had like Richard Man, who had already reached out to me. It was Don Ludus, who I already knew, but Ludus wasn't there at the time. And I think a couple other people. And I was like, hey, I see you got a nice group of guys. I would love to come over and network, chat with you guys about possibly set up some shoots, boo, boo, boo. I didn't think he was really going to say yeah because I saw that he mainly do interracial. But I was like, all right, I'm going to just go ahead and shoot my shot. He was like, no, I'd love for you to come. I pulled up, got there. I did a blowjob scene with Richard Man within 15 minutes being in the house. I don't still don't know how that happened. I still don't know how that happened, but Richard Man being Richard Man, we got it done. And then after we did that, I guess while they were downstairs talking, they had asked me did I wanted to shoot, and I was like, yeah, because I did bring stuff to shoot. I think I had did like a photo shoot with G after that. You know, he took some pictures of me, and at that point, I was already comfortable. So Fred was like, hey, do you want to shoot with the guys? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, who do you want to shoot with? And then I think somebody like mentioned like a gangbanger or something, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. I
Yeah,
was like,
it
yeah,
was.
like yeah. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, we ended up doing the gangbang that night, and then I came back the second night, and then that's when I ended up doing my first DP with them as well. So I got a lot of my first videos, but good videos from that first AVN.
Yeah, I see because it's funny how the stuff you were doing then, now a lot of black girls are trying to do now.
Hmm.
Period. So why do you think a lot of black girls now are trying to get into the gang bangs and the BDSM? Because you were doing BDSM early.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? Like
one,
straight up, like you was doing BDSM stuff when it wasn't cool for black people to do BDSM.
well, I won't even say it wasn't cool. I just think that it's something that wasn't really shown on the bigger
Yeah.
scale. Because black people has always been in king. Black people has always been doing the same shit. Our counterparts always do, but it's just not shown. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So that's why it's always been a big thing for me to do those things because it was a lot of people that when I did my first gangbang scene, people was like, "Oh," I had people tell me my stock was gonna go down to some more shit because I did the gangbang thing. So you know what I'm saying? Nobody wasn't going to want to book me because I already did a big scene. Like that was some shit I was supposed to quote unquote save, which didn't make sense because I'm like, how if I'm doing it for my own platform? Like all my
Hmm.
gay things I've done, I own. Like
Hmm.
I have all my game to this day, all my hard drives. The only ones I don't have is like the couple threesomes of stuff that I've done for like Rick Nasty or something.
Hmm.
But outside of that, I'm like I got all my shit, so I'm confused.
Yeah, because it's kind of like to me, I would think that if you did do a gangbang or anal, especially if you're first, you would want to have it on your own platform to begin with,
Yeah,
because.
and I feel like now that's why a lot of more ebony models are doing it because
Mm,
now that we do have the option to own our own content, why are we gonna do that for a company where they gonna keep making this money off an extreme scene like that where I can arrange the shit myself and continue to make money off of it, especially if it's some shit that I already enjoy doing.
yeah, because I remember even back in 2010, 2012, Hollywood was saying, "No, tell the girls that your girls put out their own shit because shit was going to dry up out there anyway at some
Hmm.
point because the internet and the Clifford Cell, the Rude, the Southern Charms, and all that, because they knew it was coming. But where this
Hmm.
area was coming to, period, where the content creator will have more power than even with Hollywood. Because now, do you really need to shoot with the major companies to make money or even get the exposure that you got back in the day?
Hmm.
You know? So, so with that being said, I still can't get over the game thing. Not because, like I said, I mean, to me, a lot, like I said, it's just funny. But I don't know if you ever thought about it. You kind of was the prettiest, the godmother to a lot of the shit that the girls are doing now. Period. Especially in the BDSM realm. Period. And even on fetishes, because you was on fetishes then. Period. It was kind of like you were somewhat ahead of your time, don't you think?
Mm, a little bit. I never really looked at it like that.
You
I
ain't got
just
to be humble with me. Stop it.
I
Stop.
no, I really haven't. I really haven't, but I guess you could say that.
Yeah, yeah, because I didn't see black girls doing, bondage. Oh, Marley doing it. They ain't see them doing game bait. They go Marley doing it.
Yeah, I would say the gangbang was probably like the only thing I will say. Like, yeah, there wasn't too many black. There was I will say there was white BBWs doing gangbangs, but there wasn't too many black BBWs consistently doing gangbangs as much as I was at the time.
Oh no, oh no. And
Like,
your
and I
shit was
mean
hot.
consistently. I would say at least consistently from like 2016 well into like damn near 2020.
Shoot, yeah. And plus, it didn't hurt that you was with nuts in them because people don't realize how hard it is to put together a gangbang. It is
And
difficult.
that's exactly, I was like, I use that shit to my advantage. People be like, "Oh, you always shoot with the same people," because I know what I'm gonna get. Like that shit always look at the material. That shit always gonna sell. I have game names that I've done 5 years ago. People still talk about.
Hmm. Yeah, 'cause I remember that nun one.
Exactly.
I
I
remember
knew
the
that was
nun
gonna be
one.
the
I
one.
remember
I
that.
knew that was gonna be the one you mentioned. I knew it. I'm about to
Look at
say.
all sex in that nun outfit. I was like, damn, yo, sex ass. So speaking about talent, 'cause I know we had this conversation in the space of this time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, you can speak to this even more so because you got 10 years in the business. The importance of picking the right talent, because a lot of girls don't realize part of your brand is the talent that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And ladies need to take into account, what they need to take into account when they're picking their male talents.
Um, One of the biggest things that I do, I sit back and watch people before I actually reach out to them.
Mm,
Um, Unless it's somebody that I know for even still, like most of the time when it comes to male talent, we've already been interacting online and with each other, or I've had an
mm-hmm,
eye on you for a while before I decided to reach out to you, or vice versa. Because at this point, just jumping out and hitting up people, it's different to how it was, how we around we started, where shit was a little bit more, I won't say safer, but
yeah.
not as
Set.
crazy as how it
Yeah.
is now. Because now you literally just got anybody that can say they're a content creator.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? So you really have to be thorough about how you pick your talent. Like I said, I watch them on social media. I watch how they interact with people. I watch how the things that they say, because there's a lot of male content creators that I think that they don't like women based on the shit that they say out their mouth, or just sex workers in general.
mm-hmm,
Um, and that's one of my big things, because there's a lot of dudes who, they can show their dick online and sell their videos all day, but they're not an ally. Um,
mm-hmm,
so those that's one of the things I look out for. Then I just kind of watch how you sell your content, where you distribute. Are you on any platforms outside of OnlyFans? Um, what type of content you film, what your audience is, what we might have in common. It seems like a lot, but when you take these things into account, it makes it a whole lot easier to find somebody to work with, and it makes it more fun too, because y'all
mm-hmm.
already know what to expect, and y'all
Yeah.
already on the same page.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize. Because I know a lot of people say, well, like for example, I used to shoot with the girls a whole lot, the same girl
Mhm.
over and over again. And I said the reason why because they're making money. Plus, it's also the chemistry there because we work with someone on a
Mhm.
regular basis. Like when I look at you in Nasty Montana, y'all have chemistry. You can tell
Yeah.
y'all don't work together on a regular basis. It's certain talents that when I see you with, that I can tell this ain't brand new to her. They
Yeah,
know
I've been
each other.
working with Nasty for exactly. I've been working for Nasty for years, so he's always gonna be something I hit up for a video, because I know what to expect, and I know the people are gonna like it because they've been watching this for fucking forever. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Because people don't realize it's about dependability. That it's not
Mhm.
just he keeping his dick hard. It's him showing up on time. Him being ready to work. Him showered.
Oh man, it's sad that has to be a thing you have to mention, but
Guys, forget you do have to wash up before y'all start
oh,
shooting.
please wash
Because
your
dude,
ass.
the dude, between the time you done got dressed that morning, the time you got there, depending upon what city you in, you gonna have some sweaty balls. So wash up, bro.
Listen, I done shoots and they get there and I'm like, "Do you need to take a shower?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm gonna take a shower before I got here." Look, you had this travel 30 minutes to get here. If you don't wash your ass,
She don't want no salty balls unless you go put salt on the
come
balls,
on
okay,
now,
people?
don't do that. Don't do that to
but
me. Come on.
but yeah, but it's kind of like even with on set, like what's some of the things that talent male talent could do to help ladies relax and become comfortable with doing shoots? Because sometimes we do have to woo each other somewhat before the shoot. Not
I
necessarily.
understand
Go
that.
ahead.
I
But
okay, so I was just about to say that there's a very thin line between preparing for a shoot and you just being flat out thirsty. Like there's a very thin line.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Yes.
have no problem. You first of all, consent still exists. Just because we about to fuck on camera, don't mean you can start grabbing me without asking at all. You
Mm-hmm.
still need to open your
That
mouth
part.
and ask me, because the camera's not on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like the camera's not rolling. this is not this is not being filmed. Therefore, if you feel like you need a little help and you want to grab an ass cheek or you want to touch a titty or something, you need to open your mouth and ask me. Don't just feel like you can just grab me, because then at that point, no, you didn't ask for consent. So that's a very, very, very big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, like I said, there's a very thin line between prepping for a shoot and, you know, being thirsty. I don't mind a little flirting, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I be before a shoot. Sometimes I like to get my mind right and have a moment to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need a dude in my face stroking his meat the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, if we about to work, I'm kind of already feeling you, and your dick gonna be hard anyway, so you don't even
Mm-hmm.
worry about that. But I understand every situation that might not happen. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna do my part. But as long as the consent's there, and you're not being weird about it. Um, but I feel like as long as there's communication. Oh, and also ask your counterpart who you're about to perform with what they're okay and not okay with.
Yes.
Because, like, say if we're about to film or we're in the middle of fucking and you just put a finger in my ass, I didn't say that that was okay, nor did you
Mm-hmm.
ask me if that was okay, whether I'm okay with it or not. But it's the simple
Yeah.
fact that you didn't
Acts.
ask. You know what I'm saying? So now it
You
looks
may not
awkward on.
feel like a thumb in your ass at that moment.
Yeah, now it looks awkward on camera because now I have to play it off because I don't want to get, you know what I'm saying? Like it kind of fucks up everything. So communicating with your partner, your on-set partner is very, very, very important. And I feel like once you get the communication out the way, and y'all kind of go from there, everything will kind of fall in place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'll be the first to tell you because you have females that have a lot of trigger shit, and it's good for a male time to know that so they know what not necessary to do because once you lose it for a shoot, it's hard to get back. It's
Mhm.
hard. It's hard. Period. Um,
Mhm.
that's the reason why I couldn't stand shooting. I can't do that in no 5 minutes, doggy. I'm starting to get good. It's starting to get good to me. Then I got to stop and switch. But even more so
Mhm.
on a more serious tip, because I always felt like this. I don't ever want the girl to turn around and have to punch me in the face because I did something wrong.
Right.
Shit here, actually, I had girls had to literally talk about something. Do you even like me? Because you ain't trying to rub my ass or nothing. I'm like, hey, boo, I'm just trying to be professional.
Right. No, I
Oh my
understand.
goodness. So
Mhm.
now that you have shifted from being just a talent to a straight up producer having a studio, now your thought process is different from how you pick talent for you to work for you, not with you. So what do
Mhm.
you take into account differently when it comes to content versus this is for my company?
Um, I mean, there's nothing really's changed. I just kind of go beyond what my preferences are.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I have to think more so about the audience outside of just myself.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, the same rules still apply. I still look for the same things. When I work with people, both male and female. Um, yeah, I just want to know that whoever I'm working with is there to work. I'm not here to waste nobody's time, and I really don't want my time wasted either. Um, so that's a big thing that I look for is people's work ethic and how professional they are. And then I ask questions now. Now that I know
Mm-hmm.
producers and I know who to talk to, like we were saying in the space the other night, people talk. So
Mm-hmm.
I know who not to do business with.
Yeah, 'cause it's a lot of them out there, unfortunately. I swear to God,
Mhm.
more than ever before nowadays, because the industry done got so fucking wide open now that anybody and everybody can jump their ass in it.
Mhm.
We done talked about that on more than one occasion. So, also, when you become a business owner, now it's about the business, not just yourself. So now you're looking at the numbers a little bit different. Speak to that.
What you mean?
Well, like for example, like with sales, because like I said before, when you're a talent, you're looking at it from the views of I'm just a talent, this is just me, versus as a business owner, now it's about the whole company. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The look of the company, not just the look of Marley. You feel what I'm coming from?
Mhm.
Also, because now in some of these scenes, you're not in them. Because
Mhm.
you're gonna coming from versus When Marley's in the scene, we know what Marley's getting versus now Marley behind the camera and you got two people in
Mm-hmm.
front of the camera. It's not Marley. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. I mean, I'm trying to understand the question
I'm sorry. It's like put it this way, like when you know that you're in front of the camera, you know the type of scene that's gonna get put out.
though. Mm-hmm.
You know the intensity of that scene. You also know the ability of its selling. Because
Right.
it's not just because I shot with Don Prince, because I'm Marley and I got that fan base that they're gonna be rabid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you become a studio owner, now not all the time is gonna be Marley in front of the camera. So now I
Mm-hmm.
got to put my trust and my wallet in the hands of these two other talents, and I got to direct it to where it's going to sell. You see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you're asking how I go about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes back to how I pick the talent that I work with.
Hmm.
I'm very picky. Very, very picky. I've said this on occasions. It's people that I'm cool with that I probably would never probably work with just because
Hmm.
we're cool as friends. Business, no, can't
Hmm.
do it. And that's just because I know what I want and I know what I expect from the product that I'm trying to sell.
Hmm.
I'm trying to do shit way different that I've been doing over the last 10 years.
Hmm.
Especially as a female ran company, I feel like that's a very high standard. That a very very high a very very high standard
Hmm.
to hold myself to, especially how the industry is and the fact that there isn't too many female ran companies out here.
No, they're
So
not.
I feel like if that's something that I would be doing, then the product that I'm putting out needs to be on that level,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the people need to match that. So um, there's people like I say I've done events, and I'm willing to invest my money and invest my time into it because I know what I'm gonna get out of it. And so far, it's been successful because of the people that I surround myself with. Um, I keep, as far as my network goes, I keep my circle very small. Slowly but surely, it's growing, but I'm just very particular about who I do business with and who I allow myself to invest into. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not trying to waste no money. Not in this
Yeah.
time of age. Shit is too expensive out here to be wasting money.
You ain't never lied. It's true. Because especially even though you in Vegas, do you have a hard time running the talent in Vegas?
Nah, I love it when I come out here.
Mhm. So do you live out there or you just be out there all the time?
Nah, I haven't lived in Vegas for 2 years. I live in New York, but I'm in Vegas right now.
Okay.
I came out here for
See,
my
so you
birthday.
move around. People can't even tell where you live at no more.
Good. I do that. Look, good. I don't like people being able to keep tabs
I
on
thought
my
you
name.
was in Vegas.
My name is Carmen San Diego. Okay, 1 minute I'm here, 1 minute I'm over there. You never gonna know where the fuck
That's good as shit. So,
I'm at.
oh my God. So now also you're a lady that understand about being diverse in the business.
hmm
Speak to being diverse in the business and not depend upon one thing to generate money for you.
um, that's something that I've always been talking to people about because that was something that I was taught early, is to not depend on just one platform or one thing for your bread because
Mm-hmm.
shit is ever changing. Like we saw that shit with
Yeah.
OnlyFans when everybody was thinking OnlyFans was about to go away. Everybody was freaking the fuck out. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
these other sites exist for a reason. I don't know why y'all just don't be on these other sites.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As well as like trying to be diversify your audience as well. Like you gotta open yourself up so more people can see you. That's how you really gonna make money.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta
Yeah,
be on more
because
platforms to do it.
I think that one, I think anybody would want more than one check anyway. I mean, I'm sorry. It feel good at the beginning of the month when you got 5 or 6 payouts coming at the same time.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a very good feeling, like you seeing that bread come in and now it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to kind of budget your money because you have different streams of income, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
So with Marley Moore Entertainment, the studio, what stories, porn wise, did Marley want to tell the world?
Mm, I want to tell stories that's relatable to us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whether it has something to do with sex or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Like I feel like when it comes to black people in general, we tend to get the same scenarios, whether it's in mainstream movies or in porn. We tend to get the same kind of stories. Like we don't really get to have like creative control over what we want to talk about or see.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on a respectable level. Like I feel like it can still have a certain level of blackness to where it's genuine, but
Mm-hmm.
not where we get the label ghetto or urban or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
generic labels that we always get the shit slapped onto. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like my biggest thing. I've always been big into writing, but I've always
Mm-hmm.
been big on writing stuff that everybody that can relate to it, especially as a black person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's like my biggest goal right now.
Yeah, 'cause I think that our stories always been told through the eyes of white folk, not us. As far
Hmm.
as black talent and stuff. And I'm starting to see a lot of that come to fruition in this day and age and stuff. And because, like I said, because we do have stories that could be turned into porn.
Hmm.
They're not necessarily ghetto-ish or what have you. Like, what scenario would you learn to turn into porn that you haven't turned into porn yet? I know there's
Mm,
one in your mind.
yeah, but I don't like giving my ideas away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, shoot. Well, my bad. I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away how my sausage is made, though. I
Nah,
know.
yeah, I don't like the
So
whole
shoot, but I
sauce.
see that you've been trilling
Mm.
into
But I
a
look
little
at it
bit.
like
Go
the
ahead.
I look at it like this. When people think of porn, they think of like the generic like
Mm-hmm.
porn. I feel like porn can literally be anything to do with sex. Like the shit that we do in our everyday lives can be turned into a movie because we fuck, we have sex.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself. So I kind of take ideas like that and run with it. Like I like kind of that's normally that's kind of like what goes into like my creative process. I take
Mm-hmm.
real life scenarios or situations, add my own sauce to it, figure out how I can make it relatable to a bigger scale,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. And then I already know it's gonna be some sex into it because that's just the lifestyle that I live, or the person that I might be basing it off of with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that hard.
Yeah, because one thing I can say about you, you give your fans variety.
Mhm.
You damn sure
Mhm.
give variety and everything, from your solos to your boy girls, what have you. Do you webcam?
Huh?
Do you webcam?
On and off. I've been trying to get back into camming. I used to cam a lot in the beginning of my career, but I haven't as
Mm-hmm.
much because I've been focusing more on the film. But I want to
Mm-hmm.
get back into doing webcamming. When I can find a consistent schedule to do it.
So, which is the other question I wanted to ask? The balancing act. How do you balance it all? Because, like I said before, you were just talent. Of course, you went around to get your money or what have you with your travels or what have you. But now, add to it, now I actually run a company. So, how do you find the time to balance everything from your business to personal?
That's one of the things that I've been trying to work on this year is just prioritizing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my goals going into the new year is prioritizing time for myself and time for my business. I'm learning that now me performing on camera and me trying to run a company is becoming an issue.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, it's rough.
yeah, I see why a lot of people tend to make the transition of shooting less and being more behind the camera because it's a lot of work trying to do both. Um,
Yeah.
and you end up being frustrated in the end because one or the other is not going to work out. So um, now I feel like I would get more of a return now as a producer and a director because like I done did enough for filming. I got plenty of films I can put out. I don't need to film shit at this point. I really don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's because I want to. There's people that I still want to work with, or and I like working with. But going into the new year, like I said, my main goal is just focusing on the company and building that up and being able to where I don't have to balance the two. I can really put all my time and energy into
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, I'm enjoying this Devin Driller and Marley the Maverick.
that.
I'm
That's good.
enjoying it. Sound
Yeah,
up
see, this
cowgirl.
shit like this, you see what I'm saying? Shit like that I like to do. Like something as simple as that. Like I like
Mm.
doing little stuff like that.
Yeah, because you also mastered the art of being a sex symbol. Um,
Thank
no,
you.
seriously, because like I said, it's like I don't see you look regular. You feel what I'm coming
Mhm.
from? It's like you make it a point to in every picture look your best, to look pin upish and stuff like that. And I think there's also help to the sales of your content. Speak to people not realizing the importance of being a sex symbol in this day and age.
Um, I said this in the. I don't know if it was in it the other night, but I said this in the space. Oh yeah, the space that we had open on my
Yeah,
birthday. We were talking, and I said one of the things that you have to be big on is how you present yourself to the world. That matters.
yeah.
Like how you present yourself and your brand. That's gonna take you a long ways. Like I ain't gonna hold you. There's some shit I done put out there. I get on live looking a mess, but I wouldn't even say a mess because my natural looks good to somebody else. So
Oh
what
yeah,
I think
yes
might
it
look a
does,
mess.
baby. Yes it does.
So what I think might look a mess might look good to somebody else.
Mm,
But even it's just little small things, you know what I'm saying? Like and then it's just little small things.
mm,
Appearance wise, how your background is, or like you just said, how even the content that you post.
mm,
You have to make it look like that you actually put some thought and effort into it because
mm.
people are going to see that. If people can tell that you don't give a fuck about the content, why should they buy it?
It's so
So
true.
yeah, so you just gotta even something as simple as taking a picture in the mirror. Like yeah, I just took it, and honestly,
Mm.
that's just how I fucking look. I hate to tell people. People be thinking I be doing some extra shit. I'm like, no, that's just how I look. I just know how to take a picture. That's the little effort that I put into it. I just know how to take a picture. Um, get
Mm,
my angles right. I might put on a little lash or a little jewelry,
mm,
throw on something real quick, but I'm not doing nothing extra. I'm just putting in effort. Effort is the
mm.
key. Effort is the key word that I tell people. If you just put some effort, I promise you, that's gonna take you a long way.
Almost definitely. Because I'm sorry, it's kind of like you was already sexy with the locks, but then when you cut that hair, it just took you to another level of sexiness.
And see, thank you. I be trying to explain that to people. People like, oh, I missed the locks. I'm like, y'all don't understand. I unlocked a whole new level when I cut my hair. Okay, I have people that are paying me money that ask me, "Hey, when's the next time
Mm,
you cutting your hair? I want to see a video of you cutting your hair." What?
mm.
I make money just from cutting my hair. I get bitches that stop me in public. Oh, I love your hair. Thank you. Uh,
Yeah, I ain't gonna go front. I love it. It was like
as
when I
somebody
saw the
that
short hair, I
loves,
said, "Oh damn, make
look,
my dick jump." I said, "Oh
I
my
tell
god."
people as somebody that loves women, my coochie stock went up the moment I cut my hair. The dreads was
Yeah,
cool, but people love the short hair. Okay, people
yeah.
can moan, cry about it all they want to. Short hair is selling. Okay, I've had, and honestly, I've opened. I feel like while I feel like natural hair is still somewhat not as acceptable as it was, but I feel like
Mm.
having short hair will get you a little bit further
Yeah, because to
than the
me,
dreads. You get what I'm saying? Especially the dreads
yeah.
that I had, because I just didn't have plain dreads. I was doing every color in the goddamn rainbow. So
Yes, I remember.
you know what I'm saying. Now that I have short hair, I can still do that with my short hair, but
Mm,
it's still I could put myself under the alternative category because
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like I know it's everything is about branding.
Mm,
That's one thing I've always been big on. And then once I cut my hair, I was like, cool, that's the Marley Moore that I'm sticking with. Everybody knows the blonde short hair is easy to deal with. It's easy to notice. You know what I'm saying? Can't too many people emulate that. So
oh no, because to me it makes you stand out even more. Because
exactly.
think about how many girls in the game now do have dreadlocks versus when you had dreads. You feel what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Then it was a rarity. Now
Mhm.
with the short hair, and it makes you stand out. And two, it just gives you like a different look. And two, it makes you look like a youngster. And it makes you look like a youngster. So it throw people off with the age. You know what I'm saying? But no,
mhm.
I love it, baby girl. Shoot, I love you with the short hair. You sexy motherfucker. I always said it. Seemed like the women with the short hair had the fattest asses. I swear they do.
That's yeah, yeah. It seems that way.
Cause I got girls with the short hair. Every last one got a fat ass at work. I'm like, it's just something about short hair just make the booty grow for some reason. So Miss Ladder held you up here for an hour. I know you a busy woman. And I want to bring you back because I know my listeners would love to hear more from you and to get you on video next time. So can I call you a smoke buddy?
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. Y'all heard it, people. The big booty Marley will be back on the Smoker Lounge, and we're going to bring her back in the premium smoke room. Y'all know what it is, $4.99 a month. 7 premium podcasts for you to enjoy, where we get more wilder, more unpredictable, more crazier, more candid, and more honest. And this is the safe space for the porn star when it comes to podcasting. So with that being said, Miss Marley, tell everybody where they can spend money on you.
So the easiest way to find me is at allmarley.com. That'll give you all my links into one place. You can find me on Twitter at Marley the Booty, MarleyDaBooty. I'm also on Instagram at more.ent. Yeah, like I said, everything is under one link, allmarley.com, because I got way too many links to list. So that's the easiest way for you to find me.
Hey, how tall are you, baby?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". See, she's a tall, sexy drinker of chocolate, people. I need to check her out for real. She's a legend about this shit. And like I always say to the people, I said there's certain interviews that let me know that I'm getting somewhere in this business. And you're one of those interviews. Because I'm sorry, you're one of the ladies that I deeply respect in this business, was a fan of, and would have gave a left arm to have worked with you one time. Because your work is impeccable, baby. It's impeccable. No doubt. So with that being said, people, you know how we end this every day, all day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke is over. Say goodbye, Miss Marley.
You guys have a good night.
Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right.